Hello, my friends. Welcome back to the Scrapbookpal YouTube channel. This is Melanie with Melanie Smith Stamps, and today we are getting a little inky. We are playing with the brand new Dina Wakley Collaged Birds Collection. This first set here is actually Collaged Birds, and it is a 5-piece Better Press set with dies, and both of these sets, actually, this one and the Feathered Dream, are both registration plates. So this is Feathered Dreams, and each of the feathers has its own die, and then it has that gorgeous script press plate. So both of those were press sets. And then this is the Sentimentss set. It's called Holding Your Heart Sentiments. And those are just a few I had pulled out there for you to see. Then we have a 2D and a 3D embossing folder. The 2D embossing folder is called Scribbled Letter. And I'll put it on a piece of gold here so you can see it up close. It's a very pretty font. And then here is the Soaring 3D, and it is what our focus is going to be on today. It's got a typescript and then soaring 3D birds running through it. So this is the full collection. So let's get started on our card. We are playing with Distress Oxide sprays in tumbled glass, bundled sage, and milled lavender. And you want to make sure you mix all of these sprays that we're using today. They all have little balls inside them, and you want to shake them really, really well, because we're also going to be using the coordinating tumbled glass and bundled sage Spritz, as well as the Distress Mica stains in fresh balsam, frosted juniper, and frozen fog. So I will also have all of these items listed below with links so that you can easily check for them in the shop if you're missing one or two of them and you would like to finish your collection up so that you can recreate this card on your own. Now, the first thing I'm doing here, this is watercolor paper, by the way, and the first thing I'm doing here is just laying down a base coat of my 3 colors. This is just a starting place. Now, this is mixed media. There's no right or wrong in this. That is the beauty of mixed media. That's what I love about mixed media. It's freeing, it's fun, it's just relaxing, and there's nothing you can do wrong. So I encourage you to get out what you have in your stash and just create. Now, I chose 3 colors here that were next to each other in the rainbow: purple, blue, and green. And I went ahead and chose our lightest colors from the Distress line just to have a really soft, muted background. So this is our first layer, and in between layers you want to dry your background about 80 or 90% of the way. Now, I've got out a piece of acetate here, and I'm just going to spray. This is another way that you can actually add ink to paper if you're scared of spraying directly to paper. You can squish, yes, you can squish the paper down into the ink. And I could do that on my glass mat as well, but it bubbles up a little easier if it's on plastic than on glass. So if I had my Teflon sheet from Tim Holtz, I would actually be using that right now. But since I had the acetate in my stash, I just used that instead. Plus, we're going to do another technique with the acetate, which is actually this right here, which we're going to be doing with the next color in the middle because it's easier to do that. But we'll use a smaller piece of acetate for the center. So you can do it either way. You can dip your paper into the ink on the acetate, or you can use a smaller piece of acetate and actually dip your ink onto the paper for a lot more control. And so I'm just doing layer after layer until I get the look that I want. The more layers you do, the more depth you get. So I'm using the Spritz right here, just adding a few little droplets of the Spritz just to give it some shine. I did also add some Spritz to the Oxide ink there on the acetate as well. So here is the milled lavender, and I put a little too much on that. I did 2 sprays instead of 1, and you see that line forming? That means there's too much, and we're going to see it. So I left this in so that you can see what happens when you do have too much and how you can just cover it up. So I thought this was a good learning experience, so I left it in. I like to do that because, like I said, there's no right or wrong in mixed media. See, there's the line. But you see how I did that? I just lifted it up because there was too much water. So I lifted it up and I let it drag or drip. I let gravity take over. So I lifted it, the blue side up, and let the drips fall. And that way that line kind of disappeared. And then we're going to also put some more drips on it, some little droplets on it as well. So you're never going to see that line in the end. See, it's already almost dissipated. So now we're going to get that smaller piece of acetate there, and we're going to go ahead and just do one spritz this time of the spray. So see all those little dots? That's what we're after. Those little tiny dots give you all that little definition in there, and that way you don't end up leaving these lines in your ink, and it just looks more random and more natural, and you get that deep depth going in your paper. Now I'm wanting to kind of fill that white space that's in between the white and the blue. So I went ahead and did some more of the little droplets, or I got more of the little dots on my acetate. And I added a little bit of water there as well, just to kind of move them around a little bit. And it kind of hid that area between the white and between the blue and the purple. So I really like the way that looks. I could almost use that kind of like as a space background, a daytime space background. That would be really cool without the green right there. So now I'm taking my Mica sprays, and remember, they're all mixed up. Don't forget to mix your sprays. And I actually am using the nozzle out of the jar and doing droplets on top. And this is going to give darker spots and even more depth. So I did the green at the bottom. I'm going to do some blue here at the top. And this is just the easiest way to get small little dots. Your splatter, just like splatter your card normally. Now I'm okay that I got a little bit of that in the pink. I actually did that on purpose. It's okay that that's cross-contaminating there, because it's going to make it look like it's blending. And you see how I'm like touching it with the end of the nozzle there? That's one way you can control it even more if you want to add the spots right where you want them. I had a little blank areas here and there, and I just went ahead and touched the paper, and it helped me put them where I wanted them. Now, heating from the back like that helps flatten your paper if it's really warping. And now we're going to take the third spray, which is the Frozen Fog. This is the mica stain. And the Frozen Fog, I'm actually spraying here from a distance. You can't really see a whole lot of it. But now I'm undoing it, and I'm gonna actually do this one all over. It's kind of a silvery purple, and it really makes the page sparkle. So it's actually spritzed all over in a fine mist, which I did from far away. And then I've got the main droplets in the pink area, or purplish area, the milled lavender. So now I'm drying it, and we're going to just do one more thing, and that's some acrylic paint. So if you have any kind of white splatter acrylic paint in your stash, anything like that, you can do this with. And I just added some acrylic paint to kind of lighten up those dark spots. And here again, more depth. So it just gives your background lots of interest, and it doesn't hide, or, these are like little glossy specks. So it's a totally different consistency because your oxide is kind of a chalky look. Then you've got some sparkle going on, and now you've got some shine going on with the acrylic. And so you just got lots going on here. But now we're going to go ahead, since it's finishing, and we're going to go ahead and emboss it to give it texture as well. We're going to use the Bird embossing folder, the one that's called Soaring, the 3D embossing folder. And before I do that, I am going to go ahead and spray the back of this paper Let's take a look at it real quick though, really close. Look at the shimmer that I achieved. See this shimmer? That is from the mica spray. That mica spray that I told you about at the end. But I'm going to turn this over and give it a couple of really good sprays. And then I'm going to just give it a light mist on the front. I don't want to move everything around on the front. So I've got that in there. It's very moist because I sprayed it on the back quite a bit. And then here we go. Check it out. The embossing paper, the embossed paper is now completely flat. So it's perfect for adhering on your card now. No more warping, which is the beauty of putting it through the embossing folder after you're done inking it. And now I'm going to better press 3 birds to go on top. So I've chosen 3 colors here: Dusty Concord, Mowed Lawn, and Stormy Sky. These are 1 hue darker than the background colors of the Oxide inks. So I thought they would show up just a tad bit more by doing it this way. So let's just see how it turns out. So I'm inking each of the birds individually. That's why I'm using a whole piece of paper, so we can just do it all in one step. And Oxide inks work really good with your BetterPress. So if you haven't used them with your BetterPress yet, definitely give them a try. It gives you a lot more color variations and color options, and they're a lot of fun to use. Plus you can coordinate them with your projects like I'm doing here. So I'm just going to have them soaring with the eagle, or soaring with the eagles. I'm just having them soar in the direction of the birds that are already on the embossing folder. And I'm going to fix this so that the sentiment kind of nestles into that area of that purple bird. You see how there's a little triangle there? I'm going to kind of nestle that in there. And then we will have the 2 other birds, the green one flying up towards the purple, and then the blue one flying in the other direction. So they're all in the direction of the birds that are on the embossing folder though, which I think is really neat. I just love the way this is turning out. The softness, the movement, the depth. I think it's really pretty. Makes me feel good. So I hope you're really enjoying this today, and that you check out all of my friends' videos as well over on the Scrapbookpal channel, because they have some really good projects over there. If you've not already subscribed and rung that notification bell, do not miss out, guys. So I'm going to press this here, and then I'll give you a close-up view of this. And I hope if there's anything you need, that you drop me a line down below, and I will see you in the next video, my friends. Bye-bye for now.